Hey, so I wanted to get my positions out there beginning to end as they currently are right now, top to bottom, just to get something sort of concise going. So first off, I'm a secular humanist. I'm a secularist because I'm a believer in the scientific method, in positivism to drive merit of information. Uh, so That's why I'm a secularist. I'm a humanist because human beings are by far the best thing nature has turned out yet. Our feedback ability, like our ability to learn, to basically mold new behaviors, is amazing compared to every other species on the planet. The other species would have to go through 50 generations just to just to get like a fraction of what we can do. Sometimes in just a week. Sometimes just the stuff we can learn in a week. Um, and you know that it has to be genetic information and all sorts of stuff that advance them. We can just talk to each other. We can scribble stuff down on a piece of paper, learn learn the language of whatever it is on that piece of paper, and there you go. We're learning we're learning stuff that took a person an entire lifetime, and they were actually able to learn it. That's the other cool thing. But it took them an entire lifetime. They scribbled it down on a piece of paper with a certain language. We learned the language, and okay, now we know what they were scribbling about. It took them a whole lifetime, but they came up with relevant, valid information just like that. So human beings are just great. I mean, we use external objects to make tools where other animals would have to grow the tools like out of their limb or something. So human beings are just the shit. I really, really like human beings. Uh, which leads me to anti-statism. I am an anti-statist because the state pretty much uh, puts people in a bubble so that they don't have the opportunity for feedback anymore. You know, you can have a few specialists who study things every now and then, and maybe they'll get it right, but the general population is pretty much kept in a high chair or in training wheels for pretty much their entire life and not allowed to grow because they can't experience things. I mean, there are assumptions that the public has that I cannot imagine them having if there weren't a state. And I'm not just an anti-statist due to opinion and integrity of information and relevance of information and all that stuff, but I just think it would be the most efficient, uh, the most social. I think the state is inherently antisocial completely. So that's my anti-statism. I do not like deductive philosophy or rational philosophy, whatever it's called. I really, I seriously don't like it. The whole concept of axiom to me is devoid of information that you could trust, especially given what we know now about human perception. I mean, human beings are horrible as far as uh, their ability to perceive things accurately outside of a very narrow spectrum. Human beings are very accurate within a very narrow spectrum, but outside of that spectrum, we're awful, and we're not very good recorders by memory. It's mostly written recording, I'd say, that really helps people out, uh, or really allows people to build on information and use information reliably. Because we already know that compared to the machines we make, that in trials, the most unreliable kind of evidence is human testimony, and that's everyone. That's even cops, and they're supposedly their job is to remember things and report it. So yeah, I don't like deductive reasoning. Um, the whole idea of axioms, of self-evident truths, to me that just means that it's something that is commonly believed. It may even be inherently believed by genetics. And I'm not saying that it's invalid, but I'm just saying that axioms haven't been proven. There isn't the term axiom doesn't necessarily have overwhelming body of evidence behind it. But there are plenty of things which are being called axioms that are used in deductive reasoning which do have a lot of evidence behind them. I just don't see it being used that way. So yeah, I just don't like rational philosophy. I don't think it's exceedingly valid. If you're making long-term decisions, that's going to lead to the life and death of a bunch of people. Go for positivism. Go for theory. Go for educated guesses which have overwhelming bodies of evidence supporting them. And I guess last in line is I'm a moral nihilist, or a trans-moralist, as I like to call myself. And that's a joke, pretty much. But I'm skeptical of the fact that what most people call their morals are related to an experience they had where something happened and they felt a certain way about it. They really liked it, they felt amazing about it, or they felt very bad about it, whatever that situation was. And they started, once that is assigned a tag, a certain kind of tag, I do not like when that tag becomes argued against. When a person has actually forgotten what it is, like when a person basically forgets the outrage which occurs when they're stolen from, or when someone punches them in the face or something else like that, and instead they're just arguing against the label of assault or the label of theft, and they're comparing, like, oh well, someone which is better or worse, theft or being punched in the face, or theft or assault, and they're only thinking in terms of the tag, but they've forgotten about what the actual experience of it was that caused the initial objection to the incident in the first place. That is what I am very skeptical of. I think most people do a disservice to themselves when they perform that action and they start performing logic based on the tags. So I think those are all of my positions, top to bottom. People are great. You don't need the state. You may think you do, but I'm telling you it's only a self-fulfilling prophecy. Top to bottom, people don't suck. The state doesn't suck because it's not that the state sucks because it's run by people and people suck. It's that the state is based on a self-fulfilling prophecy that people are evil, and so evil must be done to them. And so they see the state as evil, and so this whole cycle of people performing injury on each other starts to become very perpetual, and eventually people end up proving themselves right. But I'm the type that I am absolutely sure that it is completely a self-fulfilling prophecy. You don't need the state. You get rid of the state, you'll see a lot of very, very good things happening, and I actually think that the opinion that a lot of cynics have of humanity would very quickly change. That's it.